Hello everybody, I'm back with another video. If you're new to my channel, then welcome. If you'd like to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, then please do. Today's video, I'm going to be doing a rant about Never Have I Ever Season 2. I'm very excited to be doing this video because I was supposed to do a review on Season 1, but at the time I had other things that came up, so I never got around to it. So I'm very excited to be saying my thoughts on Season 2. I will also be mentioning my thoughts on Season 1, but this video is mostly about Season 2. Before I start the review, I do have notes on this phone, so if you see me looking down, that is why. This video will contain spoilers for Season 1 and Season 2, so if you have not watched the show yet, which I do recommend because it's a very good show, then I would watch the show first and then come back. But if you don't care about spoilers, then continue watching this video, but you have been warned. I'm going to try and say it in order of episodes, so if I remember, I'll put the picture of the character that I'm talking about, but that's if I remember. If I forget, then I apologise. And I'm also going to be having subsections for each topic I'm talking about. So the first person I'm going to be talking about is Davy. So Davy is the main character of the show, and based on the trailer, I thought that the whole season would be about Davy dating. Based on the trailer, I thought the whole season would be about Davy dating Paxton and Ben, and then at the end of the season, they would find out that they've been cheated on, and then the end of season 2, she would have to decide. At the end of season 2, it would end with a cliffhanger of her deciding who she would be with, and then in season 3, she'll finally choose who she'll be with. So that's how I thought the season would end. That's how I thought the season would be like, based on the trailer. I was surprised that it was revealed more earlier on in the season that Davy was cheating on both of them. I got mad during the cheating scenes, but I understand she has feelings for both of them, so I do understand that, but the cheating scenes did make me very mad. I think it's very clear that Ben is the right choice, but watching season 2, I did try to be not biased, since I do want Davy and Ben to be endgame, but during this video, I'm going to try not to be biased, but it is very clear that Ben is the better choice. And I think there were so many red flags for Paxton during the beginning of the season. There are some red flags for Ben, especially in season 1, but in season 2 there are a lot of red flags for Paxton. He does a pros and cons list, and she says she wants to be with Ben, but her friends are telling her she should be Paxton because you can always get someone like Ben, but you only have but her friends are saying because you only get this kind of chance once to have somebody like Paxton, because Paxton is hot, so that's why they're saying that. And Davy's supposed to be going to India with her mum in like a month, but that doesn't end up happening. But as far as she knows, as of now, they're supposed to be going to India. So now I'm going to talk about the pros and cons list, and if I remember, I'll put a picture of it on the screen so you can read along with me. So on Ben's pros, he's got that he's smart, he's challenging, so he challenges her, and the last one is that he's hella rich, so that one didn't make me laugh. And the cons is that he's kind of a dick, which he can be kind of a dick, especially in season 1 he was, but you understand why he was, especially with his episode, you understand why he's kind of the way he is. Then it also says that he's a past nemesis, and also he has hairy forearms, which that one did make me laugh, but that's his pros and cons list. And then you got Paxton's pros is that his face is 100, body 100, he's popular, he's probably good at sex, and his cons is that he's bad at school, not a lot in common, and Trent snorts. I think it's a snorts. But as you can probably be able to tell, Paxton's pros are more look-wise, and Ben's pros are more personality-wise. One of her friends says to her jokingly about, oh, what are you going to do? Are you just going to have two boyfriends? And Davy thinks that's a great idea, so she decides to date both. Ben asks Davy to be his girlfriend, and she says yes, but also she goes on a date with Paxton, and Paxton has his friend Trent over and another friend, I forgot what his name is, but the guy who was in the guy, I forgot his name. I think his name is Dan, I forgot his name, but he was in that band. I forgot his cat's name. If I remember, I'll put the cat's name on the screen now. Okay, so they have to pick up trash because the teacher says they're gonna do this kind of school activity when they have to go into the park and pick up trash. So this is before. So Davy asks Ben to be her partner. So while they're picking up the trash, Davy says to Davy says to Ben that about yesterday, I thought about it and I want to be your girlfriend. If we don't kill each other, I think it would be a great idea. So they almost kiss again, but then Ben sees something, so they don't kiss. But then after that, Davy's putting away some of the trash, and then Paxton comes up to her and says, can he talk to her? First, Davy thinks that Paxton was looking for Trent, but actually he says, no, I was looking for you. So they talk, and Paxton says to Davy, why didn't you choose me to be your partner? And Davy's like, because you clearly don't. No, he's like, oh, why didn't you choose me to be your partner? Because I thought we had something going on. And Dave's like, you clearly don't like me that way. And then Paxton's like, why would I invite you on a date if I didn't like you? And Dave's like, oh, what? That wasn't a date. Your friends were there. And then Paxton's like, my friends are always on my dates. They're there until we hook up. And then she's like, oh, we could have hooked up, but then Trent barfed, and then you left, and it's all the back and forth. And then Paxton basically says, well, I'll take you on a real date. And then Davy says it's too late because she's already with Ben, but she doesn't say that she's already with Ben, she just says it's too late. And she also says that she's going to India. And then he says, oh, what, forever? And she's like, yeah, forever. And then he's like, oh, well, we have to make this time last. And then he kisses her, and then this is how it goes on to, oh, she has two boyfriends. I feel like that when Davy told Paxton that it was too late, she should have mentioned to Paxton that she agreed to be Ben's girlfriend, because she just said it was too late. She didn't say why it was too late. But that's what I think she should have said, because she and Paxton literally kissed like 5 minutes after she already agreed to Ben. So it was literally the next scene. What annoyed me is when Paxton kissed Davy, because Davy didn't kiss Paxton, Davy, and you can see on Davy's face, it's like when somebody kisses you but you don't really reciprocate it. That's what kind of kiss it was. But so she didn't say no, or she didn't back out, she just was kind of like this. Like kind of like a shock face. Me angry a lot in this season, and there was times where I felt sorry for her. Like there was a time that I felt sorry for her, but the rest of the time I didn't feel sorry for her. I didn't feel no empathy for her because I feel like she deserved it. So the friends have a party. The friends have a party for Davy because she's leaving to India. So Ben overhears Eleanor, which is one of Davy's friends, talking to her boyfriend about the party. So he says, oh, I'm going. So now they're in a big jam because because she already invited Paxton. So now that Ben and Paxton go in, they're like, what are we gonna do? How are we gonna make this work? Having both of her boyfriends be at the same party. So Ben overhears Davy talking to two girls, saying that she's dating Paxton, and he's upset. And he goes to Paxton and says, "Just so you know, we're dating the same person." And Paxton's like, "What? I think you must be mistaken." And she comes and says, "I can explain," and she uses every excuse that you can probably think of. She uses it like, "Oh, I didn't want to hurt you. You didn't you didn't even catch on," or something like that. And then the one that really was like, really got me annoyed is when she said, "Oh, what if I was a boy, you would probably high-five me," which she's probably right, but it really made me cringe when she said that. Like, really made me cringe. I don't know if this was in the script, but when I rewatched the episode, I saw, like, when I rewatched that part, because I've rewatched that part a lot, I noticed that Ben had tears in his eyes, so I don't know if that was in the script or it's just because the guy who plays him is a really good actor, but that's something that I realised. So I could tell that Ben was way hurt over what happened than Paxton was. I think Paxton was just about it, so I don't think he was as hurt. He was definitely hurt, but not as hurt as Ben. A new girl starts at school, and Davy is jealous of her for many reasons, but the main one is because Ben and her get very close, and she feels threatened by her. She still has feelings for Ben, and with the new girl in the picture, she feels like that can't happen. So she feels like she won't be able to get another chance with Ben if the new girl is in the picture. So that's why she feels threatened by her. She even admits to her therapist that she should have chose Ben from the beginning because Ben was all in. So she even admits that she got very selfish or greedy. I think it was greedy, she said. But she does admit to her therapist that she should have chose Ben from the beginning. This season she's called a lot of names, but the one that she's called the most is Crazy Davy, because in the first season she was called Coyote Girl, but in this season she's called Crazy Davy. But I think she's more messy than crazy. I don't think she's crazy. I think she acted like a terrible person, and I think the mistakes that she made, they wasn't mistakes because people told her don't do it and she still did it anyway. So I don't think that's mistakes. I'm gonna get on to Paxton's episode. So like in the last season, how Ben had an episode, Paxton had an episode. So in this episode, his narrator is Gigi Hadid. I pronounced it right. If I didn't, I apologize. If you don't know who that is, then you must be living in the walk. But she's the person who's with Zayn and they have a kid now. I think it's a daughter. Is it a daughter? I think it's a daughter or something, I forgot. But they have a kid now. And that was a nice surprise that Gigi Hadid was Paxton's narrator. The main focus on this episode is this: Paxton got run over at Davy's party. This is after he found out what happened between this is when he found out that he was being two-timed. He got run over, and now because of that, now he can't do swimming because his arm is messed up and he has to wear cars. So now because he doesn't have that athlete side, he can't go into college because he has bad grades. It's the swimming that was getting him to able to go to college, but now that he doesn't have that swimming, he either has to, one, get better grades, or two, don't go into college at all. The teacher suggests that he gets a tutor, and when the tutor started describing who the person is, I already knew it was Davy, because she started saying that the person has very good grades or something like that. I don't really remember what she said, but when she was saying it, that's when I remembered who the person was. First, Paxton didn't want to work with her because of what happened between her and Ben, but then he decided he wants to go to college, so he's going to need her help. And plus, he said that she owes him for what happened. So they start getting closer, and Ben is really mad because he obviously still likes her, even though he's mad at what she did. Now I'm going to go on to Anissa. So earlier I mentioned about the new girl, and the new girl's name is Anissa. She becomes very popular. She's Indian and she's also Muslim. I think she's Muslim. If I got it wrong, I'm sorry. But I'm pretty sure she's Muslim, and people call her Davy 2.0. So even the teacher at one point calls her Davy, and she says, "Oh," he says like, "Sorry, Davy," and then everybody's looking at Davy, and it was very embarrassing. The point where Davy decides that she wants to be friends with Anissa, but the more she sees Ben and Anissa together, the more she gets angry on because she wants to be with Ben, and then she and Ben become very close, but at this time she doesn't know that Ben and Davy are exes. The school does this charity event when you have to be in teams and you have to be one in, but when you're one in, somebody always has to be one in. So you hold one of those like pool things and everybody has to be one in. So it's kind of like that. So it's a 24-hour event or a 36-hour event. I don't remember which one, but it's either 24 or 36. Davy's jealous and she's trying to get them away from each other, so she always makes them run a lot, even though Ben would be like, "It can't be my turn. It's my turn already. I just waste. How's it my turn already?" And she's like, "Well, that's what." Davy's like, "It is. It's your turn." They run so much that their legs actually start hurting, and Davy's happy because now they won't go to the tent, because basically for the tent there's a sign-up sheet and Davy sees their name on the sign-up sheet, and they're signed up for 9 o'clock. I think it's 9 o'clock. So it's at this time it's 8:56. He was like, "Oh, they're definitely not going to be able to go now because they can't walk, because you know they're sitting down because their legs are hurting." So this tent that I mentioned, this is the place that the people go to hook up. So that's why Davy's trying to separate them, because she doesn't want them to hook up. He sees them going to the tent and he was like, "What? What? Like, what? They were just sitting down there, their legs are hurting, what?" So she's mad, and when Davy's mad, she likes to have outbursts a lot. So she goes to these two girls and she does a lot of things to the girls, but the most important thing she says is that about her being anorexic because she never sees her eat. So the news travel around school and a rumour begins. Lisa finds out about the rumour and Davy sees her crying, and Anissa says the reason why she's crying is because of the rumour. Anissa admits that it's not a rumour, it's true, and that's the reason why she left her old school, because they found out and they picked on her, so that's why she left school. So I feel like they could have done way more for the story, but I did like how they mentioned a serious topic like that, so that's good on them. So Davy offers to help find the person who started the rumour, but she's only doing this because she doesn't want to be, because she wants to put the blame on somebody else, so she doesn't want to be caught out. That's why she offers to help. It's not because it's because of the kind of her, nope, it's not that. It's just because she doesn't want to be found out. So later on, Davy admits that she's the one who started the rumour, which I was very surprised about, because I thought how would it be is that she'll be caught out, but she's actually the one that admits that she did it, and I found that very good. I understand that she thought they were hooking up, but even when you're angry, I don't think that's something you should say, even if you are angry. If he gets suspended because one, she lied, and two, she started the rumour, so she gets suspended. And also her mum takes away her phone, the Wi-Fi, which I thought that scene was very funny when she disconnected the Wi-Fi, and now she can only spend time with her aunt. Oh, I forgot, not her aunt, with her grandmother, because at this time now, her mum decided that she's not going to go to India, she's going to stay in America, because the only reason why she wanted to go back to India is because she felt like she needed that life support, from her family, so that's why she wanted to go back to India. But the grandma convinced her to stay in America. There's a costume and she sneaks out and she apologizes to Anissa, and in this one she does this dance with her friends, and I thought that was very funny. And I saw a video of the behind the scenes and that was very funny as well, but that doesn't work. But the second one does work. So she sneaks out again and that one works. Now that Anissa's staying, Ben says to Davy that he's going to ask her out now that she's staying. But before he says that, Davy was actually going to ask Ben out, but Ben tells her that he's going to ask Anissa out, so she gets mad again. So she pretends like she's okay with it because she's friends with Anissa now again, and Ben and her are getting on better terms now, but you can clearly tell that she's not okay with it. We've got Eleanor, and Eleanor is one of Davy's closest friends, and she starts liking this guy who's an actor and he's been on Disney. So she breaks up with her boyfriend to be with the new guy, but the boyfriend is and there's an episode where Fabiola, I know I pronounced that wrong. So that's Davy's other friend, finds a message on the guy's phone, and from the text it did seem like he was cheating on Eleanor. So Fabiola and Davy come in between that, and Eleanor is very mad at her, so they stop talking because she's like, oh right, you're trying to break up my relationship, and she's very mad, especially at Davy. She's like, oh, who are you to break up my relationship when you're dating you were dating two guys and all this and all that. Davy is upset about what happened between her, Eleanor, and Fabiola. So she's walking on the street, and Paxton drives past her, and she's crying, and drops her home, and they have a talk about stuff that happened recently. And when they are parked, Davy sees her mum kissing a guy in the car. I'm going to talk more about that when I get to the mum. So the last thing I'm going to say about Eleanor is that Trent asks Eleanor to dance at the dance, so that's at the end of the season. So maybe something might happen between them, but we're going to have to see. Next, we're going to talk about Davy's mum. I do not know how to pronounce her name, so I'm not going to try. But I know what her name is because it says it here, but I don't know how to pronounce it. So Davy and her mom were supposed to go to India. So Davy plans was to date both of them, and then she wouldn't get caught because she would be halfway around the world. But I think that's silly because even if she did go to India, just because you go halfway around the world, it doesn't mean it makes it better. No, that's silly. Saying that I'm doing the actions is just reading this reminds me of how angry I was at Davy in the season. Anyway, so as I said earlier, the mum tells her she's not going to go, and she brings the mother-in-law home to stay with them. So Davy and this guy from work share a moment, and they end up kissing. So they go on a date, but Davy mum lies and says that they're just going for a meeting or dinner or something like that, but they're not really doing that. So after Davy sees them kissing and wants to comfort her mum, but she can't without proof since she's done that in the past with Eleanor. And so she's like, I can't comfort them because I don't have proof. So she asks her cousin to go with them, and they go on the roof and spy on them, and they're actually having dinner. She drops her phone on this plant thing, and it's revealed that it's a jacuzzi because she steps, it's like she puts her arm in to reach it, and the thing goes it goes like this, so it closes up, and the phone drops, and she also loses the voicemail from her dad, which keeps her calm when she's angry. So that's gone. So the mum is angry and says it's just dinner and takes her home. But what annoys me is that if it was really just dinner, why couldn't she tell her if it was really just dinner? But we all know it wasn't just dinner. Davy does apologise, and then she does actually catch them in the act, and then Davy gets mad that her mum started dating when her dad just passed away not that long ago, so she's angry. And then the grandma's like, oh no, she's a grown woman, she can do what she wants, all this and all that. And Davy and her mum both talk, and they have a very good heart-to-heart, which I like. And her mum tells the guy that it's over, but she clearly likes her, so she basically tells the guy, because my daughter doesn't support me, because of her daughter and what happened, she shouldn't date. But I think the mum deserves to be happy as well. She got the cousin, and the cousin's name is Camilla. So Davy's cousin has a boyfriend, and I'm not sure if it's the one that she was supposed to have an arranged marriage to, or the one she was sneaking around, but she has a boyfriend. So she works in this job, in this lab, and a lot of the guys are very misogynistic to her, and she has to pretend to like, I think it's K-pop or something, just so they can invite her to this party. There's this time that they wrote this paper thing, and she done most of the work, and they didn't put credit. They didn't give her credit, so she actually was like, no, I'm putting my name on it because I did a lot of the work, so I deserve to be on it. So after a while, she says no, she has enough, and she leaves. The guy comes to visit, and the family think he's gonna propose. So she ends up running away because I think she's scared to get married, and I also think she has a crush on the teacher. But we're gonna have to see what happens with that. Got Familola, and now Familola is now out and proud because she is gay, and she has her girlfriend, so it's the girl that she liked from the first season. Charity match thing, she tries very hard to not let her mum and Fabiola date because she's not her mum and the girlfriend meet because she's embarrassed of the girl. She's embarrassed of her mum, so she doesn't want them to meet, but they actually hit it off when they do meet because the girl was like, no, I'm gonna like, why are you doing that? She's mad that she's doing that. And also, most of this episode, Fabiola is not being herself because she's not in with the gay culture or gay slang, I don't really know what to call it. So she feels really uncomfortable, like with Eve's friend. In the season, they actually become queen and queen. And the scene that I really liked is when they were applying to put their name in the box, and then the girls, and then Fabiola was like, what? It's because we're two girls, and everyone's basically saying, oh, it's the 21st century or something like that. And she's saying, no, because I have to film out a new form, and the guy's not here and I'm by myself. And she's like, oh, well, I can just cross out king and put queen. So I thought that scene was funny. Talk about Ben, Paxton, and Davy. Paxton and Eleanor are the only ones who do not have dates because Davy and Eleanor are the only person that don't have dates to the dance because Eleanor dumps her boyfriend, so the jerky one, she dumps him, and Davy's Davy, so that's why she doesn't have a date. Paxton starts coming into the window because he misses her, and they end up making out, and he starts to do this a lot. So that scene was just funny. I'm like, wait, what? He just starts coming in the window, and he says he doesn't want to be with her publicly, and there's a point that Davy asks Paxton to dance, but he says no, and then he has the nerve to still come and want to make out with her, and she's like, wait, what? After what? Like, you said no to me, and then you still make out, and then he admits that it's because he doesn't want to be in public with her because of what happened. But so he's like, oh, we either be in secret or none at all. Later on, Davy gets upset because she sees all the couples being lovey-dovey and she's by herself, so she actually ends up leaving. And when she leaves, Paxton hits her with his car and she falls on the floor, and I'm pretty sure she has a concussion, but she's actually like, she's fine. So because he keeps on asking her, are you sure you're okay? And she's like, so what does this mean? And he's like, are you sure you're okay? Are you sure? And he's like, no, yeah, I'm fine. This dress is paddy food. What does this mean? That's basically how she is. He wants to be with her. So they walk into the dance, and they end up kissing. And yeah, Ben's not happy. He sees them kissing, and he says, oh, of course it's him. It's always been him. And then Eleanor comes and says, what? No, it hasn't. Like, after Malibu, she wanted to choose him, and Eleanor explains to Ben that the reason why she did all those things to the new girl is because she was jealous. So she says, oh, it hasn't always been him. So with Ben looking at looking very sad, and Davy and Paxton kissing. Davy says to Paxton, "Oh, so I'm Paxton's, I don't know how to pronounce his name, girlfriend. I wonder how that's going to be like." So that's how it ends. Also on the season as a whole, I'm going to start talking fast now because I've been filming for a while now. I thought the season was very good, and there was times when I was happy, and there's times that I was sad, and there's times that I was angry. But I really enjoyed the season, and I'm very excited for season 3. That's if they make a season 3. Thoughts on the ending. I was very happy and I was sad at the same time, because even though I don't like Davy, I do want her to be happy. But I am a Davy and Ben shipper, so the fact that they were kissing, the fact that Paxton and Davy kissed, that did make me kind of mad. But I mean, I got my kiss the last season, so you Paxton shippers can get it this time, but don't get too comfortable. Don't get too comfortable. What's in season 3? Before I talk about my plans for season 3, I have a message from Netflix. So if you're not Netflix, you can scroll past. So this is a message for Netflix. Netflix, if you cancel season 3, I'm going to be very mad, because it's not the first show that you've cancelled, especially on a cliffhanger. So if you cancel, if you don't have to do a season 3, I'm going to be very mad, because you did this with I Am Not Okay With This, and that's a very good show. You did this with Insatiable, that has a cliffhanger as well, and you've done this with Sabrina, so I'm very upset at you, Netflix. So please, I'm begging you, do not cancel the show. Like, I'm begging you, please do not do that. But that's my thoughts. So we have to see if they do it. But it hasn't been I don't think it's been confirmed, but people are telling me, I've heard that it should be coming out next year, but I'm not sure about that. I don't know if it's been confirmed or not. Now I'm going to talk about who I think is endgame. So I think Ben and Davy are endgame because I support them. But as I said earlier, I'm not trying to be biased, but there's so many proof out there that he still likes her. Because Ben still has feelings for her. That's how I feel, that he still has feelings for her. How do you think season 3 will go? So I think that I think that Paxton and Davy will date, but then Ben will start getting jealous, because now that he knows that she wants to be with him, he's going to get jealous. And I think then he's going to become distant with Anissa. And after a while, he'll admit that he still has feelings for her, and maybe he might even say the L word. Maybe. So I feel like either he would tell Anissa that he still likes Davy, or Anissa will pick up the fact that he still likes Davy. It'll be one of those two. Either Anissa will get upset and tell Davy, or Davy will realise herself that she still likes Ben as well. It means they would kiss at the end, but either the end or the middle would be okay for me. So this is for season 3, by the way. Next is, which season do you prefer? As of right now, I'm not sure. I loved season 1, and I wasn't expecting to like it as much as I did, but season 2 is really good as well, and it took me on a journey, and I think both seasons are really good. So I rewatched season 1, so I wanted to show some things that I forgot happened in season 1. So I'm going to talk about, if you want to skip this part, you can skip this part. But the first thing I forgot is how the dad died. So I knew he died, but I forgot it was from a heart attack. And I forgot that how her legs stopped working, and it was a miracle because of Paxton. That's how her legs started working. I forgot that the reason why John McElroy is David's narrator, and that's because he's one of Davy's favourite players. I forgot how much I liked Davy in the first one. Like, she annoys me in the second one, but I really liked her in the first one. I'm still team Ben, but he was kind of a dick in the first one. Especially how he started calling Davy, Eleanor and Fabiola the UN, and not because of racist reasons, it's because he thinks he calls them the unfuckable virgins, and he's the one who started it, so that was rude. And the fact that Eleanor and Oliver, which is Eleanor's ex now, so that's the one that she broke up with to be with the dick that I don't like. They used to be in a secret relationship, and Fabiola knew, but David didn't know because she didn't want to tell her because she thought she would freak out, which she did. said I didn't remember which one the guy was, if he was the arranged marriage guy or the secret guy, and he was the arranged marriage guy. And I really like Davy's therapist. Like, she doesn't have a main story, but I really like Davy's therapist, especially in season 1. I prefer her in season 1, but she's going in season 2 as well. About the dream that Davy had about Paxton. So when he just comes in and takes his shirt off, I forgot about that, but that was a very good episode. How much of a liar Davy is. Like, she lied to her friends about the situation with Paxton and how they slept together when they really didn't. And the mum, I think the mum had a miscarriage, and the dad took her on the beach, and that's the same beach that the mum spreads the ashes. He used to hide her sister. Like, I knew about the sister, but I forgot he used to hide her because she has dyslexia. So he's afraid that people will make fun of her because his friends in the past have done that, and her friend's name's Rebecca. And I forgot that he spoke Japanese, so he's half Japanese. About the part where Davy wishes that Ben was killed by Nazis, and that part did surprise me because I totally forgot about that. About how Davy told Trent that Davy is nice. She's nice. Like, she's nice, but she's good at that stuff, so that's the only reason why he asked her to be on the project with him. I forgot about the dance video. I forgot about the fact that Fabiola was out. Before Fabiola was out, she had this boyfriend named Alex. Also, I forgot that how Davy thought that her dad was in a coyote, so the spirit was a coyote. And this part isn't that really important, but I forgot how they mentioned Riverdale in the season, and I forgot about the Indian episode, but I did like that episode. And also Paxton complimented her dress, so that was nice. And I forgot about the pact that Ben and Davy made, so basically they can't cross activities. So because they were nemesis, they couldn't cross activities. So Ben couldn't do the activities that Davy liked, and Davy couldn't do the activities that Ben liked. So now I'm gonna see this last bit and then I'm done. There's a lot more that I didn't remember about Fabiola telling her mum, about the trip episode. There's so much more, but I'm just gonna go to the final thoughts now. So I'm gonna go on to the question that people asked. The question asking which one I prefer, season 1 or season 2. I do still really like season 1, and after rewatching season 1, I do remember a lot more, but I still prefer season 2. This might change, I don't know, but I prefer season 2. Some people be like, oh, I'm a Paxton shipper because when Davy fell in the water, Ben just stood there and didn't say nothing. And also with the coyote, Ben just stood there and didn't do nothing. And with the coyote, I understand why. That's because he was shocked. That's why he didn't do nothing. And with the water, again, I think he was just shocked. So, but he obviously cared for her, even though they were nemesis. So many reasons why I'm a Ben and Davy shipper, and also he helped bring Eleanor and Fabiola to talk to Davy when they were kind of on a break because they were mad at her because she was being selfish. So yeah, there's so much more I can say, and there's so much more I can say about the show, but this video is very long already, and I know I keep saying that, but it isn't, and leave it there. But my final thoughts on the episode is that I really like the show, and I do hope they do season 3. Again, I do not know if they're going to, but I hope they do. This video is probably very long, so if you have stayed from the beginning to the end, I really appreciate it. And if they do a season 3, I will definitely do a review on season 3. But I hope they don't cancel it. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Also, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss something when I post. I have a lot of videos planned. Please watch out for them. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.